Hi everyone and welcome along. Today I'm going to paint something just a little bit different. I love to paint miniatures, I love to paint cute things, and I thought how fun it would be to paint some gorgeous cute sushi illustrations today. So grab your paints. Ant's just pulled a rather surprised face. Yeah, you didn't know that was coming, did you?
Nope.
Grab your paints and let's get started. Right, full disclosure, I don't really eat sushi, but I love the look of it. So I'm going to be drawing things and I don't know what they're called. So I'd love you to tell me what they are. But I've got an 8x6 bit of paper here. I'm going to be painting them as a little piece, but this would be such a cool little card. I've already painted drawn in my chopsticks, which is just two lines just ever so slightly tapered in rather than completely parallel. And I'm going to paint some sushi. So here we go. We're going to do some simple little illustrations. So I've just got it's not even a circle, but it's one of those nice sort of rolled up ones there. I'm going to do one of those ones with a bit of rice underneath and a piece of salmon over the top. Don't forget, if you don't like drawing, you can just screenshot this once I'm done. I'll do another little round one here. Now I've seen, this is a very sort of cutesy little illustration style. I've even seen people draw little faces on sushi, which is kind of sweet. But yeah, this is just a fun, different sort of approach to some sweet little illustrations. We do all sorts of things on this channel. So I'm just drawing in these basic shapes. I'm going to do a little tiny bowl of a little pickled sort of kimchi type thing. So a little bowl. And to finish off, one that's almost got like a little crab stick on it. So rice on top, no, rice underneath. And of course, now we can add in some extra details. So I'll roll on the top, have some bits and pieces, bits of veg in there. One here we might have with a little dab of wasabi on top. I know a few things. I know one or two things. I don't know much. We're going to have little caviar balls in this one. So my relationship with sushi, unfortunately, is dictated by a very late coming to enjoy fish. Essentially, that's been my problem over time. So I'm going to begin by painting in all the rice. So to get a nice sort of off-white creamy colour, I'm going to mix buff titanium with Moonglow, maybe a little, get the warmth in there. We basically want to dilute this right down until it's almost completely clear. We don't want much. Okay, and with my size 2 brush, I am just going to dab the colour in this kind of textured manner all over the rice. Yes, so I didn't really love fish as a child, only as an adult. I've made a conscious effort because I know how good it is for me, but also we sometimes get concerned about the overfishing and all that kind of thing. It's always a bit hard, isn't it? You try your best and you're never quite sure. But yeah, so that sort of pushed me away from sushi for quite a while. And then it's always been a texture thing with me as well. Like fish is one thing, but raw fish, I used to go, gosh, I really don't know if I'm cut out for that. But so many people love it. And so I have been curious over the years, and I have had tiny weeny bits. My friend Roz got me eating some in Alicante of all places. Not the first place you'd think of for sushi, but that was really nice actually. But I get the fear of ordering something in a restaurant that I won't eat. I don't want to waste. I don't like wasting things. And I am quite adventurous with my food, but sushi seems to be this final frontier for me. And I think because Ant isn't that fussed about it either, so therefore it's not like one of us is going, oh, you've got to try this is absolutely amazing. I'm going to take a tiny bit of just Moonglow on its own and just dab in the tiniest bit of shadow onto that rice. Nice one. Next I'm going to paint a sort of salmon-y colour. Well, I've got all of the various fish. So the salmon obviously has the sort of the lines of paler colour in it, and our crab stick will have a slightly sort of paler colour in it. So what we'll do is we'll paint on a really pale, dilute colour, and then we can layer over the top of it. So I'll just let this dry. I haven't yet painted in anything on this or this one, so we could paint something in. Let's do the bowl. Let's do a nice little wooden bowl. So I think this would be a really fun tutorial for maybe like a journal page or a card if you've got a friend who just adores sushi. In fact, maybe I should give this to Roz because I know she's a big fan of sushi. Sometimes it's just nice to paint something a bit different. So I'm just using some nice warm earthy tones. So I've got cadmium orange here, got yellow ochre and burnt sienna. By adding in a bit more colour and darkness to the edges, you get that rounded look, just to make it that little bit more three-dimensional. And let's just clear some space in the palette. Let's create the sort of seaweed wrap. So we'll get some green, Sap Green, and then we really need to darken it right down. So Moonglow is pretty good, and maybe a little bit of Paynes Grey in there. And actually a bit of burnt sienna. We don't want it too sort of fresher colour. I like that, so start to paint in some of the wraps where we can. So I'm just now painting in with pale washes of cadmium red, cadmium orange, and a bit of permanent rose, and I sort of made it a little bit peachier for the salmon, a little bit pinker for the crab and the kimchi. And up here, I'm just using the pinky red for the caviar, but I'm not painting every single bit. I'll leave you a little bit of unpainted space. But I can also use this colour to maybe paint in a bit of crab in that roll there. And a little bit of something in there as well. So now we'll get just some nice cheerful colours, get a bit of yellow. A little bit of Hooker's green, really nice vibrant green. So we're getting our basic washes in. I can also place on the seaweed band on here. And we're getting close to being able to pop in some really cute detail. I've mixed buff titanium, green gold and hooker's green to make some wasabi paste, which I'm going to use as my in-between colour in the rolls. There we go. And now let's wake up some cadmium orange to do our salmon. I think it would probably benefit from a bit of the pinky red tones I was using earlier, maybe a bit of permanent rose. That's nice. Okay. So I'm going to take a smaller brush than this. I'll start by doing my little slab of salmon, and I want to do little lines of it. Just drop in a little bit of a stronger colour on the side. And in doing that, I think that looks really effective. And don't worry if you sort of blur the edge of your line or not. It's all a nice little sweet hand-done illustration, so don't worry too much. Okay, we're getting there. The salmon's looking great fun, and now for the crab, I'm going to mix in some red into that mix I was just using, and a little bit of permanent rose as well. I always find it's easiest for me anyway to use quite a small brush with these things, and I'm just going to paint in stripes and just get that little bit of unpainted space, just like with the salmon. I can use this colour now for the caviar. So I'm start sort of at the bottom, and then you can build them up and sort of have them all in front of each other, if you see what I mean. And if you want, you could always add in a little bit of a deeper colour like alizarin crimson, just to give them a little bit more of an easy definition. And we can always also use this colour for little bits of extra detail on the bits, and also of course on our little bowl of sauce or kimchi. So yeah, we're getting almost all our elements done, and then we can just paint the chopsticks, and then we've got a lovely little set. So to finish off, I've just painted in the chopstick using yellow ochre, and then I added a bit of burnt sienna to it to the woody bit whilst wet. And then I thought it'd be nice to keep the colour scheme continuous, so I added in the wasabi green and the seaweed dark tone. So you can see I'm just chucking in a little bit of that, then a little unpainted stripe, and then that, and then we're going to rub out the pencil and we'll have a really cool sushi set. And there we have the finished result, having rubbed out the pencil. I think it looks really fun, really sweet, and I know now a few people I can think of who would love a card with this kind of thing on. So I really hope you enjoyed that little different tutorial today, and we will be back tomorrow with yet another tutorial for you. So don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. It helps the channel so much. We enjoy doing this for you so much, honestly. It's a real highlight of the week. And yeah, I'll see you again next time. Bye!